that. So let's give a big round of applause, and over to you.
We'll start with the film. So. She's saying very, very serious things, I'm telling you. No audio? Okay. So I'll summarize the film for you. It's talking about water and 5 ways that Israel actually has water these days. Even more than that, a few years ago, we actually became water independent. So, thank you. So I'll speak of this and then, go a little bit wider. But first, I want to say that I'm very happy to be here. I didn't realize I was the first speaker from Israel, so even more. And we're very honored to be a partner of this summit because we do, and I agree with Achim, without innovation, without looking for a greener future, there might not be a future. So thank you very much, Jose Jacob, for reaching out and for doing this. They figure the volume? This is technology. You see, we find solutions.
In the Middle East, Israel has faced its fair share of droughts and water shortages. Over the years, Israel has had to develop technologies and methods in order to preserve, conserve, and protect their water supply for the benefit of their people. Number 1, recycling. Over 80% of water in Israel is reused. Wastewater can be filtered and reused in water plants, such as in the Shafdan wastewater treatment plant located in Rishon LeZion. Number 2, drip irrigation. A technology developed in Israel, drip irrigation is a way to water agricultural crops while also conserving water. It aims to water the plant by the roots as to avoid water evaporation. Overall, it's a win-win, benefiting both food production and water security. Number 3, desalination. Desalination is the process of converting seawater to drinking water. Israel is a leading force in desalination, with the Sardic plant being the largest seawater desalination facility in the entire world. Number 4, river rehabilitation. It's important to take care of what you do have, which is why it's important for Israel to clean its contaminated rivers from waste and pollution. This includes physically and chemically treating the water, as well as filtering the contamination. You think it's impossible to create water from thin air. Well, we did it. WaterGen is an Israeli company that extracts drinking water from air by converting and filtering it via special machines. So, that was 5 ways Israel is currently handling the water crisis. Now, if you excuse me, all this talking is getting quite thirsty.
So as I said, I will go over what Israel did with water as an example of what I think we need to do in this world today and what Israel can do with India. Obviously, we're all aware of climate change and the phenomena that we see through it, the extreme weather, the rising sea levels, melting glaciers and temperature, and all the temperature rises. It endangers us, of course, it endangers our natural environment. And in the Middle East, where Israel is located, you can even say that we already are in a climate crisis because we are the area that is most affected by climate change, and the rise in temperature in the Middle East is twice the rate of the world average. So we're feeling it. You said you had the hottest summer in Europe this year, but we've been feeling it for years now. And again, we said we had to become water independent. The issue of water plays a big role. So Israel and the other countries and the region have been feeling this crisis for many years now. And Israel, this is one of the reasons, and also the fact that we're lacking in natural resources in general. We had to find solutions to survive, and we had to find solutions to ensure a future. I'm not even talking about a greener future, but to ensure a future. And this is still, and the issue of water for this reason is still in the foremost of our priority and in the work that we're doing. So as I said, it's necessity more or less that made Israel become a climate innovation leader, or one of the leaders of climate innovation. And it encompasses all issues, and we'll touch on it a little later, whether it's fighting greenhouse gas emissions, being more resilient, being adaptive, and it includes renewable energy, energy efficiency, a lot of efficient water management, precision agriculture, finding protein substitutes, reforestation and forest preservation. We have, as compared to Slovenia and Germany, obviously, almost no forest, but we're the only country in the world that has more trees now than the day of our independence. So in the past 75 years, we've actually been planting enough trees to, and we have increased the amount or acreage of forests that we have in Israel. So we're very good at providing practical and technological solutions. There are over 1,100 companies in Israel that offer such solutions in the field of sustainability and environmental, both social, and environmental sustainability. And this is basically how we got to where we are today, where we reuse 90% of our wastewater. As you heard, we have 5 desalination plants. Almost all of our drinking water comes from desalinized water. We don't have to rely on rainfall anymore. And I think this is exactly what can bring us to work together, and we have been working together with India. First and foremost, reducing the amounts of water we use, and then recycling and reusing, whether it's brackish waste or sewage water, and then desalinizing water and creating new water. Just to give you a picture, by 2050, there will be 10 billion people in the world, 1.6 billion of them right here in India. And even today, 54% of the population here faces high to extremely high water stress, and 3/4 of rural families living here in the rural areas don't have access to clean water. So again, we need to find solutions to ensure a sustainable future, but we actually have to find solutions to be able to make the lives of the people living here, living in Israel, living everywhere better. India also has 3.5 times more water per capita than Israel does, but just in farming, for example, it uses 8.6 times more water per capita for farming than Israel does. So there's definitely room to think together of solutions to, as I said, decrease it. One of the reasons that we have found for this is the total separation here between urban water management and sewage water management and rural and agricultural water. Whereas in Israel, we were able to find ways to combine the system. Basically, as I said, using urban industrial water and then transforming it to water for agriculture, for watering crops and plants, while using as little water as possible to water these plants. So it's something we've been speaking both on the government level, the federal government level, and state government level to try and figure out. Another issue we've been tackling here on the issue of water is trying to figure out how to work both on the federal level and on the government level. Because and I'm sure you all know, that according to the Indian institution, the issue of water is statewide, but there are many issues that are still handled on the federal level. And another fact that we're looking at is that in the next 5 years, the Indian government is planning to spend $100 billion in water issues here. So it's the right time now to try to find these cooperations between Israeli startups and Indian startups that need to tackle the things. So we need to manage water resources and integrate the water supply. We're trying to find ways that we can work together on advanced irrigation and water management in agriculture. We're trying to figure out how we can treat sewage water and reuse that water. And as I said, desalination. For some of these things, there are already companies doing it here, and I'm sure you know, well, it's no longer an Israeli company, but Nandan Jain and Netafim and IDE that do precision irrigation, and IDE that does desalination. And we're also trying to figure out the model of how things can work. because it was said again by my predecessors, you need some government support. It needs to first be a G2G or a G2B to bring the umbrella to make sure that, the market might be ready, might not be ready. So we need some governmental support and assistance in order to get the things happening. But at some point, it will become more B2B and trying to, we need to ensure that there's a platform for it to survive and grow back. And also about the presentation and the film we saw, WaterGen as well, the company that actually takes humidity out of the air and transfers it to water, has started very good joint venture here in India. They already have their things, their facilities set up in Noida, and they're coming, and in Bengaluru as well. So that's definitely a solution because, well, actually, there's less humidity in Bangalore, but there are lots of rain. But in many, many places in India where this can be a very, very good and easy solution, especially as we said that, some families are not connected to clean water systems. So again, the solutions we can find here together will definitely be beneficial for the people of India, will be beneficial for the people of Israel, but they're also relevant to most places in the world now, especially with the climate crisis happening and with water shortages happening worldwide. Even in countries where there is a lot of rain, there's still the issue of water. But again, once this becomes successful or long-term, we can look at it in agriculture, in medicine, telemedicine, electric vehicles that are becoming more and more common, smart mobility, alternative proteins, and a lot of other examples. I won't go through some of the companies, but I did mention some of them. I'd be happy to talk to you later to discuss specific companies or specific technologies. And as Joe said, we'll hear of a company represented from Israel in the issue of smart mobility today and circular economy tomorrow. And I'm also looking very much forward to hearing the other speakers. Thank you so much.